Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy a Happy Little Gathering? The new secret lair featuring basic lands with artwork by Bob Ross, available as 2 separate drops, one in foil and one in non-foil. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy Art Series Seb McKinnon? The other new secret lair drops with cards featuring the artwork of Seb McKinnon. Oh, there's more. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy a box of rocks? A secret lair drop, well, I guess it's 2 secret lair drops, one in foil and the other in non-foil, featuring 5 mana rocks in the art style of, well, it's an art style and they're in it, and there's so many Magic the Gathering players many Magic the Gathering players, I should say customers, ask the question, is it worth it to buy Party Hard, Shred Harder, a secret lair with another distinctive art style? Not customers ask the question, Squirrel One, do you like squirrels?
I like squirrels!
And it's only in foil. There's squirrel cards in it. Magic the Gathering. I know what's it on buy. The bundle of the bundles. That has all bundles. Other bundles. But you better buy them quick, because like all secret lairs, they are available for purchase for only a short while. In fact, I may not be able to get this video up and out on time. They may already be gone. It's a business model that relies heavily on the customer not being able to have a lot of time to think about their purchase. It's a great sign that it's a great product. Don't think about it. Buy it now. It's gone forever if you don't, so you may miss out. So is it worth it to buy these new, what is that, like 11 new secret lair drops? You have hours. You literally have hours left to decide, and the answer to that question, is it worth it to buy these? You know, just buy them if you want them, and don't buy them if you don't want them. Okay, let's go into a little bit more detail, but I really am only half joking there. Secret Lair, at its best, really is just that. Reprinting a selection of cards with new and distinct art styles that may or may not appeal to you. They are offered for less than the cost of buying those cards individually, but typically not outrageously less, usually an initial 10 to 20% savings over shopping at your local game store. This, of course, hasn't been true for all secret lair drops and is not actually true for all that we're going to discuss today, but typically that is the case. So buy the secret lair that appeals to you artistically or perhaps reprint-wise or both, and they now are leaning more and more towards offering most, not yet all, but most, in both foil or non-foil options, so you have more control over what you receive as customer, and as I jested, buy it if it appeals to you, and don't if you don't. What's the problem here? The problem. There's a few problems, most of which are just philosophical. Depending on how you count them, this last year has had 33 secret lairs already, and that's not counting all the different configuration options, such as I did in our humorous opening segment. 33 secret lairs in 1 year. If you tried to distribute them evenly throughout that past year, it would be the equivalent of more than 1 secret lair every other week. 33 in 1 year. Why? Well, secret lairs are extremely lucrative. Word is that they already make up more than 5% of Magic the Gathering's profits, which is noteworthy and explains why already the year isn't over and they could not contain an announcement of half a dozen or so more ones that are coming within the first few weeks of our new year. In fact, I would not be at all surprised if 2021 brought us 52 secret lairs in total, the equivalent of 1 per week. In fact, write it down. That's my guess for the number we will see in 2021, and I'm not joking on that. But out of all of those secret lairs, little more than half have shipped, and of those that have, quality control issues seem to run rampant, both in terms of the quality of cards arriving, as well as the ability for customers to communicate with and get resolution from Wizards of the Coast customer service. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that is a problem with Secret Lairs. I legitimately do not have the confidence that if I bought one, I would have a reasonable option to return or exchange it if there was a problem, and I think that is a fair concern about the growing emphasis on Secret Lairs. Luckily, Wizards of the Coast seems to be working to improve in this area, both with distribution centers opening in Europe to attempt to alleviate increased shipping and import fees for overseas customers, which would have been the next item on my list, but they have also announced changes in policy that do seem to be working towards building a better relationship with customers in regards to service and quality assurance.
This year we had a couple great breakthroughs. So we set up a new direct sales method in Europe. With Cashiversary, we also opened up a direct store in China. So we ran through a new channel in China. So that's a kind of a level up for our customers there. Brazil is a place we'd like to make much easier to sell into.
I've also talked at length about the legitimate concerns regarding the threat to local game stores, shifting even more money away from the LGS model and into direct customer-to-company relationships. Now, in my original analysis video, I said that Secret Lairs seem to be riding the line and not posing a giant threat as long as Wizards of the Coast doesn't go out of control, putting out a hyper amount of Secret Lairs with more and more increasing value, more and more Secret Lairs all the time, to such a degree that it could be a problem. And unfortunately, yes, they seem to be having trouble resisting the urge to do a Secret Lair every other week, or the equivalent of more than one every other week. So perhaps I will need to revisit that topic in 2021. But out of everything, the only real red flag with Secret Lairs is the idea that we will continue to see mechanically unique Magic the Gathering cards offered via them, as we saw with The Walking Dead. Now, I suppose there is a reasonable debate to be had about the idea of crossover IP on Magic cards. The overwhelming consensus seems to be that what was done in Ikoria with the Godzilla alternate arts is the way to go, and the way that should be pursued in any other IP crossovers. I personally agree with that. It's up for debate, but the real issue I want to highlight is offering not IP crossovers, but again, mechanically unique cards via Secret Lair. This to me is the only real red flag associated with Secret Lairs. The other items on the list obviously are of legitimate concern, but the real problem here is offering those mechanically unique black border cards. And while of course we cannot predict the future, given how much they boasted about the profitability of The Walking Dead Secret Lair, they literally went on and on about how much money it made them, and how out of an entire year packed full of Secret Lairs, it was the best-selling one by far. So to me, that does not bode well that we will not see this happen again and often in 2021.
There's no question. We know it was not popular with everyone. We know some people were not fans of that test or that product. We also know that it was our best-selling Secret Lair drop to date. I do think that in the future we will continue to try experiments in that space. I don't want to underestimate or understate how powerful that release was for us on a bunch of fronts in terms of growing Magic and welcoming a new crowd of people in to kind of become tomorrow's Magic players. So we saw some very promising, very exciting results on that front, and we're going to continue to figure out, what are the versions, and can kind of continue to get some of the upside that we saw, while also respecting the fact that we hear full well that this was not ideal for everyone.
Despite all of this, at the end of the day, the power really comes down to you and your needs and wants as a player. Let's examine this current new offering of Secret Lairs to hopefully help you in making that determination. Remember as always that my grade is not as important as your own, and if you reach your conclusion by disagreeing with my evaluation, then I am just as happy as if you reached said conclusion through agreeing with me. It's about determining what is right for you, given your needs and your budget. Let's begin with Happy Little Gathering. These are technically 2 drops, one in foil, one without, at $29.99 for the non-foil, $39.99 for the foil, and offering not 5, but 10 different basic lands featuring the artwork of Bob Ross. I feel out of all of the drops, this one is the most straightforward. We covered this in a previous video with the Godzilla lands. Is it worth it to buy 5 basic lands for, at that point, $29.99? Boy, the inconsistency of cards offered, foil or unfoil, and the price really is a frustrating thing about Secret Lairs. But nonetheless, my evaluation stands that if you like this artwork, if you like these basic lands, if this is something for you, then this is exactly what a Secret Lair should be. Having the option to get all 10 of them in either foil or non-foil is really nice. And if we look at the Godzilla lands, we see that, yeah, they've retained a value of about $10 to $11 each right now in the secondary market, meaning that as cosmetic items, it was a good Secret Lair drop, and I would say that pretty much the exact same grade and evaluation applies here. We also have what is the first in a new recurring series of Secret Lairs, the Artist Series, in which a Magic the Gathering artist is allowed to offer their own creative and stylistic interpretation on a selection of cards. Here, Seb McKinnon has selected Damnation, Enchanted Evening, Sower of Temptation, and a basic Swamp, and these are also available in foil and non-foil at $29.99 and $39.99 each respectively. Going a little bit further than asking the question whether or not you like this artwork, if we were to look at the prices of these cards in their regular printing on the secondary market, Damnation can be had for $34.95 in non-foil and $49.95 in foil. Enchanted Evening has quite the difference in price, $2 if you want a non-foil copy thanks to its reprinting and mystery boosters. Can you believe mystery boosters was this year? But since they were not available in foil in that or any other product since Lorwyn, a foil copy would cost you $52.72, already putting great emphasis on the foil version of this drop. Sower of Temptation has a nice $2.50 for non-foil to $5 for foil ratio, and foil full art swamps are not that expensive these days, usually running a couple bucks, but here you get one by Seb McKinnon. Obviously, that foil Enchanted Evening really makes me say that if you're going to pick up one of these, you might want to go for the foil version, though we have seen that foil versions of cards from things like Secret Lairs don't always hold value comparable to their foil counterparts, and I'm all in all going to keep this in line with the Godzilla lands, with the Bob Ross lands, and say A-. A Box of Rocks is one that I feel is a real swing and a miss. The idea behind it makes a lot of sense. A selection of commander singles, in this case mana rocks, that you're going to want to get in a premium version. I think what we have here is a problem of selection. Well, the artwork is, again, stylistic and depending upon your own appreciation. Cards like Arcane Signet, Darksteel Ingot, and especially Commander's Sphere don't really carry with them a high single or foil price. In fact, Commander's Sphere is in the current set, Commander Legends, at common, and it's just 35 cents and 56 cents for the non-foil and foil versions. Arcane Signet had a similar reaction. Again, this is because we've done just so much product, and there it was reprinted in Commander Legends, so a non-foil version is $2, a foil version $7. Gilded Lotus, $3.50 or $7, Chromatic Lantern, $8 or $11, and either way, whether we are talking for the foil version of a Box of Rocks or the non-foil version, buying one of each of the foil or non-foil counterparts of these cards is not going to be worth the cost of the Secret Lair. Keep in mind, of course, that as this is a special promo printing, it's very likely that if you like this art style and pick up these cards, they will retain a semblance of their value. But a lot of the luster is lost. And I am going to say that if the total contents of a Secret Lair in non-foil or foil are not really worth the price that you're asking, special artwork or no, I'm going to give it a no-pass grade, in this case a D+. This is maybe a victim of oversaturation of products and Commander on the market, I don't know, but nonetheless, that's the grade I'm assigning. Party Hard Shred Harder is surprisingly only offered in non-foil. I'm not sure the reasoning of that. We've got another one in a minute that's only offered in foil, and it includes with it a really big stylistic change in terms of the artwork. With hand-drawn, full art, I suppose this qualifies as punk rock? Is that it? Punk rock? Slasher rock? Is that a thing? Slasher? I don't know, like heavy metal? Whatever it is, it's really cool and popular with people who like this style of music, I am told. So that's great. What's a little less great is that the selection of cards seems to be based more upon their names, and while Assassin's Trophy certainly is a played card, as is Anguished Unmaking, Decimate and Dreadbore are much less needed at $3 and $2.50 respectively, and Thraxamundi Mundar, which again I feel was just chosen for its name, 85 cents. You're buying this because of the art style. That's great. Enjoy. I was tempted to give an inflated grade, but I can't because, again, just like with the previous one, I feel very much that this should add up to at least the price that they're charging, if not 10 to 20% more. And I'm sorry, the art, it's really cool, but I'm giving it a D+ again. You can all yell at me because you love the artwork and that's the only reason you're buying it. You'd have bought it if it was worse cards. If it was $5 worth of cards with this artwork, the same people would have bought it. You're not playing with Thraxamundar. Enjoy, be happy. That's just my evaluation based on what I'm seeing for $29.99 comparably. They could have used this exact same art style with other, more heavily played cards. Up next is We Hope You Like Squirrels. Again, I don't understand why this one is only offered in foil. It's $39.99, and if we were to purchase foil copies of these cards, Chatter of the Squirrel, only 25 cents. But wow, Croson Beast, $30, Squirrel Mob, 21, Squirrel Wrangler, 17, Swarmyard, 40. Again, I understand that these likely will not obtain that level in their value of their foil counterparts, many of which are really high because they are from very old sets, but nonetheless, that does speak volumes to me about what has been included and curated in this collection, and there's even a foil squirrel token thrown in. Obviously, if squirrels are your jam, so too likely is this. The non-foil version of this secret layer probably would have fared a lot worse. Oh my goodness, is that why they did this in foil only? Because looking at the non-foil prices, it would have not really been worth it. No, I'm not giving this an A-. I'm not. We're gonna stick with B+ here. There are also several bundles of the bundles being offered, such as No Foils, No Nonsense, where for $99, you get the bundles of A Box of Rocks, Artist Series Seb McKinnon, Happy Little Gathering, and Party Hard Shred Harder. I'm really perplexed by that name because it literally is Wizards of the Coast saying to you, the customer, that foil versions of their product is nonsense. Why would they say that? I mean, it's true, but you don't come right out and say it. The savings on getting this bundle is about $20. I don't feel it warrants its own individual grade. I will express that I am frustrated that a foil and non-foil version of everything wasn't simply made. But then of course we couldn't have the Foils Forever bundle of bundles, where for $139.99 you get A Box of Rocks in foil, Seb McKinnon in foil, Happy Little Gathering in foil, and We Hope You Like Squirrels. This too is a $20 savings. Or you could get the bundle, which literally has everything. It's $229.99. That's a $50 savings on if you were to literally have bought everything. Given the foil and non-foil versions, it does seem excessive. I'm withholding grades on the bundle of bundles. It's nice to have the options. I will reiterate that it would have been even nicer to have the option of foil or non-foil on all bundles being offered, but we do seem to be getting close to that. Final conclusion, if you count the bundled bundles, there are 11 different secret layer options currently being offered, some with modest value in terms of the cards were printed, others with much higher value, and a few with low value but stylistic and individualistic artwork. In the end, buy them if you want them, but don't buy them if you don't want them. That's what secret layers are. I guess that is all I really had to say. I don't really have a watch.